Hi, and welcome to the Hole in the Head Moto Storytime Podcast. I'm Andy, and I have a lot of old motorcycles. This season of the podcast is an evolving one, so if you haven't heard the first episode yet, I suggest going back and starting there. Last week I said that every adventure starts with a conversation. And with a certain point of view, I can trace some pretty major events in my life back to a single comment or informal sidebar that seemed irrelevant at the time. I once worked in an art gallery with a woman who also ran a yoga studio. She was the nicest person I had ever known, so I had no argument when she said I should give it a try. So I went to a few classes, was the only guy in the room, and met this cute lady that I would eventually propose to in a hot air balloon somewhere over Turkey. And now, I don't want to overly prescribe some butterfly effect hooey, but the fact is, one conversation begat an entirely new trajectory for my life. And as I revisit these sessions with Blaine in the editing process, it's kind of amazing to hear the unscripted groundwork we were laying, oblivious to the universe's order or randomness, whichever you prefer. And in our conversation this week, we cover some pretty disparate topics, but mostly make fun of my choices of words and use of business software. But as Blaine reveals what he thinks is a clever way to praise one of my fancier motorcycles, he writes a check that I'm going to cash. So with that, I will be quiet, and I hope you enjoy it. Season 2, Part 2 of the Hole in the Head Moto Storytime Podcast. In this episode, a dead mouse, moped stereotypes, handsome Spaniards, and why I might just let you die.
I'm trying to get my little Samadhi moped to run. All right. These are so simple. Any idiot can make a moped run.
Is that CIMATI?
TTI.
Oh, okay. But Samadhi. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, of course I'm working in the dirt because I don't have my garage done yet. And I go to change. It's running lean because I put in a new piston and a new ring, and now it kind of runs lean. So I want to, raise the needle up. I'm just experimenting, trying to find the range, right? And that little stupid circlip that goes on the end of the needle.
Yeah. That you can't find.
It zipped off and it's out there somewhere in the dirt.
Yeah.
And and I live 190 miles from town. Okay. Okay, not that far, but it seems like it's that far when you have to go
for a $2 part. That's a long.
And nobody's going to have it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to explain this to 30 different people.
And it's just a little C clip.
It's that little circlip thing, you know. And so basically, I've made them out in the field before. You just take a little piece of aluminum from a Coke can and punch a hole in it and then push it over and then trim it up. So I'll probably just make something. But damn it just pissed me off. I know how hard those little things are to find, but I've had to order them before and wait. Yeah,
that's so infuriating. It's funny. I have in the exact same. I got the Ducati running and going and everything, but it wouldn't idle. I couldn't have any, low idles, low RPMs. And then I looked in the carb and I realized that the needle's just gone. I said, "Well, I'm pretty sure I know that I rebuilt it and I had the needle in there, but then I pulled it out and the needle's gone, the clip's gone." I was like, "Well, surely it didn't get sucked into the intake. Like what? How do you? I would have noticed." You know what I mean? And it's just completely gone. Luckily, I had another carb that I was, I was like, whatever. But yeah, that one little.
How do you explain it?
In this one, it's like, it's a slide-in thing, and it's super specific. But how do you, whatever, what a great problem to have.
Oh.
But what a fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah. And I guess, the other thing is you can make one out of a little twisty bread tie. You can just twist it on there, and you could probably fashion it 10 different ways. But it just irritates me because I know better than to lose those things. And of course, I'm just moving it down and I just put it on the table to press it on and it went click.
Did you have a close call before that? And you're like, whew, glad I didn't lose that.
No. Okay. But of course, when it clicked off the little table that I have outside, what do I have underneath it? A bucket of used oil and a bucket of tools and throwaway parts that have been sitting there and that's got rainwater and oil in it. So it likely might have went into either one of those buckets. So guess what? I've looked through both buckets, sifted them with my hands in a fine screen, and what I found was a large dead mouse in the oil.
Oh, good.
So things are just looking up here. So tell me how your day is going, Andy.
My day's going well because I find that increasingly this whole pandemic is really driving home the importance of perspective. Okay?
Yes.
So while being free to completely lose perspective, right? Okay. So what I mean is, like, global pandemic, I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, I have a home, I have food. You know what I mean? The grocery store is walking distance.
You got a shitload of shoes.
I got a bunch of shoes. Like, I'm square. But you know, if the fucking guy would deliver my Amazon package when he says he's going to deliver it, I need these markers. You know what I mean?
I can't wait.
I really need these magnets so that I can do my planner board. God damn it. Delayed. You know what I mean? And then
and the worst thing is because they post it, because now you can track it, right? You can track it live.
Yeah, and you see how many stops.
And you shouldn't be able to do that. That's just way too much information for an adult child.
Yeah. Yes. So all things considered, I'm okay.
Andy, is it okay for me to say I want to talk about two things today?
Yeah, go for it. I got topics. Go for it.
Okay, one of them is a sidebar conversation about aforementioned mopeds.
Okay.
And then I would like to talk about why and when I think about killing you.
Sure. Are those two divergent topics?
They're the most important ones to me. I don't know.
But I mean, well, does one sort of beget the other, or are they pretty exclusive?
No.
Okay.
No. All right.
Because I don't have any mopeds at the moment.
Okay. So, hey, let me just say this. Mopeds, get some. They are fun.
I had a Sachs Foxy.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, but I sold it. I bought it in New Mexico or whatever on the way back from Texas, and then sold it to some douchebag in San Francisco for like 3 times what I paid for it. I should have kept it.
That's about right, because those are kind of sought after because they're kind of pretty looking.
And they're foxy, and they're brown, so you call it Foxy Brown. It has a little fox.
Yeah. Did you ever do the little thing with your ears when you said foxy?
Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, mopeds are surprisingly fun. And and they're, they don't go fast, and you have to work really hard to make them go, and they have terrible suspension.
Yeah.
And they're hard on your ass. But I kind of like the moped army crowd. Yeah. The little, kind of poser guys that are trying to be badasses on mopeds, and maybe they are, but I sort of appreciate that as a crowd.
They have good haircuts. Yeah, they have complicated haircuts.
And they always have lots of stickers on their doors. Wherever they go, there's a door to their shop, door to their locker, whatever. They have lots of stickers on it. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Moped guys like stickers. So
that's a big, in their 1-bedroom apartment.
In their 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. And and mopeds are small enough that you can keep a lot of parts and mopeds in your 1-bedroom apartment.
That's what I mean. They're conducive. They check the box of being a motorized vehicle. Yeah.
I bought a moped from a crackhead, and you walked inside his house, and he's got, most of the moped parts there on the kitchen table, and, one in the dishwasher, so, but you can move them, or you can pick them up. You could take it upstairs if you wanted to, if you lived upstairs. But there's something about trying to get 50 cc's to do something for you. Yeah. That is it just feels like an achievement anytime it moves.
Well, and yes, and I have terrible luck with 2-strokes. Like, I don't know why, but they're supposed to be, half the complicatedness, but I still have such a bitch of a time with 2-strokes.
Yeah, I don't know how to tune them. I just keep experimenting, and I have to do 50 things until it finally works. But I don't really, I can't really tell the difference between a bog when it leans, or when it's too lean, or a bog when it's too rich, which was where I was today before I lost that goddamn clip. But anyway, mopeds are fun. Get some.
Okay, that's fine. You know what I would like? Yes. And go ahead.
Well, because here's the way to look at it too. Because just having a moped is kind of fun, because you get to street legal it. You can bomb it down the sidewalk. Here, where we are now, you don't have to have a license or registration for them.
Yes.
So you just ride it. Try not to hit anybody.
No apologies.
No apologies for it. And then I kind of have this idea. I thought, wouldn't it be fun? I got mopeds for everybody in the family so far. And so I thought how fun that would be to go off to one of these little resort towns and just unload the mopeds and then ride around and get coffee and eat fudge, and be the touristy
your girls
people.
Are older. Yeah, your girls are older enough to.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fun to ride mopeds around, and I did a little post on the moped site, which makes me hate the moped guys and hate.
Did you join a forum?
No, but I do read one because there's lots of they have got a great wiki page on all the manuals and all that kind of stuff, and the guys are actually pretty helpful about getting them run if you put up a post. Yeah. But I just put up a thing. I said, hey, listen, I live in Arizona. I'd like to go ride my moped around a little bit, someplace I haven't been. Are there any kind of great towns or great areas that are just sort of, the moped crowd flocks to? And then I get 3-4 posts from moped assholes telling me that it's my responsibility to ride safely, which I did not fucking mention.
Yeah. Okay.
And thanks. Then I got, and so I got it's like, okay, they're thinking this guy's, a beginning rider, so they're going to give me the safety talk. All right. And then they give me the maintenance talk about what to take with me, all the shit I don't need. Yeah. It's just, and then finally one guy says, well, honestly, Blaine, if you're going to ask people about where to ride your moped, you're way too unsure of yourself, and don't belong riding a moped until you have the confidence to go down a road you've never been before on your own and just deal with the reality, man.
Literally and figuratively.
Okay. So evidently in the moped crowd, do not miss an opportunity to give others a lecture, whether it's relevant or not, but you must lecture and demean other people in the moped crowd. All I was looking for is like, hey, go to Sedona. You can ride around. You can go to these 3 coffee shops, or hey, you should go to Flagstaff.
But the demographic isn't what you're looking for is not what what I think of as a moped rider enthusiast demographic is interested in. Yeah, they should have answered.
Have you downloaded the manual? Have you registered? I see you haven't registered on the site and completed your profile.
You didn't read the ADV writer forum. There's a whole post on this. Fuck. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. So anyway, the internet is once again disappointing. But
that's weird.
Get some mopeds, I'm telling you.
So I'm looking.
Listen, I got 2 Peugeots.
Oh.
That are kind of neat little French oddities.
Yeah.
And I've got this little Samadi that actually belongs to my daughter's boyfriend, and then I have a Avanti Auto Power, which is actually a copy of a Gorelli.
Oh.
But anyway, so I just been picking these up. Funny thing is, they're not cheap. I don't know what they are in Seattle, but
the Italian ones are not cheap.
They're not cheap. It's like $400 or $500 for a basket case or for a rough one, and a good one's about $800 or $900, but then again, all the ones I see for sale for $800 or $900, I never see anybody buy. So I don't know what really happens.
Yeah. So I've been looking for a little Cucciolo, but that's because I just got snobby and I'm like, oh, a little Italian, whatever. But
I'm not a bit surprised.
Well, but because it's funny, it's a good example of what drives my desire for any given thing sometimes, which is I've never seen that before.
Yes.
They're hard to find. I want it and I want to work on it. And then the other half is like, oh, well, I mean, and what gets me into trouble is what isn't the case most of the time is not, it's fun to ride a moped. Like, yeah, of course it'd be fun to ride a moped, but that's not my primary drive, because if it was, I'd go buy a whatever the fuck for $200 that everybody.
Yeah. Chinese copy.
Changjin or whatever. And so you think about like, oh, okay, you're just being a snob. So,
well, yes,
that's fine, I guess. But anyway, I'm after a Cucciolo.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And 2, you're the biggest snob I know. Don't even kid yourself.
I mean, that's a shallow pool you got, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, you're an enormous snob.
That's fine.
But I get it. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to update quickly on this. Last week we spoke about the bull taco that I missed.
You did miss it. Yes, you did miss it.
And then you said, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself 3 states away paying 3 times as much because now you have to have one.
And
remember that?
Did a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Well, I want to ask you after the show today, hey, there's a bull taco matador not too far from you. And I want to talk to you about having to go have a look at it.
Okay.
Nonetheless, Bultaco Matador. There's one near you. There's also one in San Diego. I'm looking at both of that for later.
Well, are you riding your Montesa?
No.
Well, see, okay. Well, let's put that on the table.
But I started up and play with it.
That's fair. But there's nothing major to do on it.
It's dirty, but it's a runner. It's not waiting to be restored. I did that already. Now it just needs to be, used more. But I like the Matador because the Matador is street legal.
So it has lights?
It may not have them on it currently, but it came with a lighting coil, and you can street legal it.
Check on that for years. Is that the right year for that? Or
All
the Matador? All Matadors did?
All Matadors were dual sports.
Okay. I didn't know that. I think I have an Alpina.
I think that's what you have too. Don't confuse it with the average bull tacos that you have. This is a especially unique.
This is the better one.
This is the one that most bull taco people aspire to own.
Sure.
Unless I'm sure the bull taco guys are going to say it's a piece of shit. But
well, so I was going to buy a Matador 2-3 years ago in Seattle, and I had just lost my job, and it was like $300. Like it was nothing. And I ran around the parking lot, and I had to pause it because I was leaving town and I wasn't sure about money. And of course I came back, 2-3 days later, it was gone. But like,
I know it.
Gone are the days of the riding sub $1,000.
That doesn't help me at all in my quest to hear that you passed on one for $300.
Yeah. I wish that
hurts me deep inside.
Very good original condition, but needs work. So you're after small cylinder engines, motors.
I like little singles. I like 250s and below, just little kind of ride around bikes, eventually I'll ride them around. I guess that's what my goal is, but I like it because they're also easy to restore. I mean, I look at these things in terms of, I don't know what the top dollar for a restored bull taco is. I mean, these guys get pretty proud of them. Like you said, just like with our Ducati stuff, everybody thinks that they're the best ever. Well, I'll try to sell it for that actually.
Yeah.
There's some correction in the reality, in that whole scene, but nonetheless, the little bikes, I look at them and it's like, you haul the motor out in an hour, strip the frame in another hour, hang it up, paint. I mean, this is something you can do that you're not necessarily looking at a lifetime, or I've been working on this for 4 years. If you're working on it for 4 years, it's because you just enjoy the time in the garage or you got other things going on. But if you said, listen, I've got to refurbish this bike to look good enough to ride to somewhere, you could do it in 2 weeks if you're not waiting for parts. I mean, it's just not that big of a deal.
You don't feel like you need to replate all the bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're doing a restoration, but I don't do that. I just make it look good enough to ride.
But they're just such a handsome. I don't, Spanish.
The lines were right on those.
Yeah.
It's like, the tank's supposed to blend into the seat and the seat's supposed to be curvy and it's supposed to set you up for a nice curvy fender. I mean, it's supposed to have that swoop to it. It's supposed to look like a girl laying down with her little naked butt in the air. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it does.
Sherpa. Maybe I have a Sherpa. No, I have an Alpina. No. I have an Alpina because the Sherpas is the trials one. Alpina was
right.
But I thought anyway.
It's sort of funny that you have enough of these that you don't really know.
I know that sucks. Yeah, and then
Well, this sort of leads up to why I think about killing you.
Okay. Yes. Do tell. And which I also have thoughts on, by the way, because you're going to play a part in that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, did you ever watch The Sopranos?
No, that's on the list.
Okay.
I haven't watched
That's on the list. There's a scene where there's this young guy, one of Tony's proteges, and he just keeps causing trouble and kind of goofing up, but he loves him, and but at a certain point they get in a car accident together, and the young guy's sitting there and he's kind of bleeding out, and Tony has a chance to stop it, but he's thinking, this guy has been in a lot of trouble. He's a security risk and I love him. But if he were to die in this accident, it would just be so convenient.
Yeah.
And so he reaches over and just holds the guy's nose so he can't breathe. And he just bleeds the rest of the way out and dies. So I bring that up because that's how I think of killing.
I see this going, okay.
All right.
So if it's convenient, like you're not out to get me, but if the time came.
Exactly. I'm not going to show up at your house, and it's on, and it's not like, it's just like if nature were to hand us a situation where you might possibly expire.
Who are you to interfere?
Under a particular scenario, I would let it happen.
Okay.
I feel like I should tell you why. Mm-hmm. The only reason I feel that way, because I don't want you dead. I don't want your children fatherless. I don't want your wife, to be without you. I don't want your family to miss you. I don't want any of that stuff. But when I think about possibly letting you bleed out, it's because after you're gone, there's a slight chance.
Okay, yeah, I figured I know where this is going.
Wait a second. There's a slight chance that I could talk your wife into selling me the Marini at below market.
I think that's fair.
That's why I think about it.
I appreciate that transparency.
Well, I just want to throw it just so everybody knows what I'm putting up. I'm looking at the value of your life up against the value of me acquiring your Moto Marini 3.5.
Yeah. Well, because they're not easy to find. So, I mean, there's that. I get it. That's a steep slope.
So, I mean, I think that's an important perspective, because I'm not just hoping for your demise.
Well, if this makes you feel better, here's the thing. So I had, I've been pretty, I'm going to take 3 steps to the side to get back to where we were. So I'm pretty easygoing with this whole pandemic situation. And not really shook easily by it until, somebody near-ish to my life died. Right. So a friend of a friend's brother kind of thing. He just died in his sleep. And I thought, well, okay, he wasn't like, he didn't have time to plan. Like, he got sick, took a nap, died. Right. So, he's like, late 40s. And so I thought, okay, well, that sucks. And here I am, completely unprepared. If I were to, depart in an hour, would I have my shit together in any number of the aspects of my life? And the answer is no.
Well, and then also that means I would have an hour and a half to book a flight to see if I can get up there and talk to your wife before anybody else talks to her about the Moto Marini.
And just happen to be here. Yeah. So then it occurred to me that, like, if I died, then my wife is stuck with all my shit and it being spread out. So
that's exactly my point. I'm going to tell her that when I get there.
You're doing her a favor. So I immediately jumped in and I made a spreadsheet of where all the bikes are, where all the cars are, what condition they're in, what I paid for them, that what about, where the guns, like the little things where she's going to be rooting in the closet, she finds a shotgun that she may or may not know about, I'm trying to give all this empowerment. Right. So I built this spreadsheet, and we can talk about that in a minute, but I realized that, like, where are these going to go?
Let me just I just want to clarify to the rest of the world, when you say that you built a spreadsheet, you just clicked around on your screen and touched your keyboard, right?
Yeah, I just put them all on desktop.
I mean, you don't really build it. Yeah. It's not like you went and got spreadsheet material, cut out, made a rough cut, notepad, and then measured it.
So I made a spreadsheet in Excel because I'm a professional.
Used a template,
just a spreadsheet. So I built this thing, but by the way, I made a pivot table so that you could search by various states of where the title was, where it was located. Is this one in Texas? Well, let's sort by geographic location.
Yeah, this is riveting, by the way. Keep going on about how you made and used a pivot table you built a spreadsheet.
And so the privilege here is that, like, I have enough vehicles to warrant a fucking spreadsheet, which is
that's the point.
Dickhead. So anyway, so I have these. So now at least they're findable and in a status of, like, okay, if she's got to sell them tomorrow, somebody's not gonna, fucking hose her over the elephant and be like, oh no, it's a stupid Ducati, whatever. So, and then, well, who would know about these things in the event of my sudden departure? Who could my wife turn to be like, hey, just take care of this? And I think it's my mom.
It's me. It's me, and I'll do all of it if I can just keep the Marini.
Yeah, that's the fee.
That's nothing.
Fair enough.
Your mom, what does your mom's ever taken any of those apart? Your mom never took the call when you said, hey, I'm in Oklahoma and this guy's got this Marini, and I said, do not pass up the Marini.
Yeah.
Well, or whatever. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but we talked about it.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm grateful
for it. You're putting your mom in front of me.
Yeah, if she gives it to you, that's cool. That's just another, that's another gate.
Andy, don't make me put your mom on the let die list, because I'm gonna.
You want to go for a hike?
You're the only one on the let die list, Andy. Keep it small.
Adding to your conscience. Well, so fair enough, but yeah.
All right.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, yeah, you're top of list, because nobody knows what to do.
No, I know I'm not, but I just want to let you know is that here's a good way to actually ensure your longevity.
Yeah.
Is that even you're younger than I am and you're more healthy than I am. However, if you right now bequeathed the Marini to me, just bequeath it in the event of your demise. That way, I don't have to orchestrate.
Oh, fair enough. Stuff. Yeah, no, that's fine. But see, it depends. Then I'm like, then my life is contingent on your patience.
As long as nobody else gets it, because I just couldn't bear the thought of that thing being this close to me and then ending up with you, which I hate, and then having it go from you to someone else, which I would hate even more.
Well. Yeah, fair enough. And by the way, I just got the wheel trued and fixed on it, so it was ready to go. Except the back wheel was out of loop, out of true.
Oh, did you true it yourself?
Nope, I got a guy because
that is hard.
Yeah, because I hate that shit.
Oh, I don't get it.
It's so tedious. I just don't have the patience for it.
Yep, I've seen guys tell me how easy it is, and I've watched them do it in moments. Just click here. It's this one. It's this one, and it's just I can't.
Well, and I found a guy, a friend of a friend, who can do it, and he's like just super nice guy, and I'm expecting couple $100. He's like, just give me $20. I was like, no, dude, here's much more than that. Like just fine.
Yeah.
Take it. But anyway, so now it's good, and I rode it around. I've ridden it since I rebuilt it, but it's been mitigated by this wobble.
If you don't mind me just asking, because just moments ago you built a spreadsheet and I know what bullshit's involved in that.
Yeah.
Now you just mentioned that you've rebuilt the Marini. Right. Can you just give me the details on what you've done to it, and then let us be the judge if you did rebuild?
Case out. So I didn't split the cases, but everything else I had to put a hand on. And that's the mechanical piece of the steering linkage or the shift linkage, both the wheels.
How far did you get into the motor?
I didn't pull the cylinders.
Okay, so did you do a valve job, or did you
adjusted the valves? Took the heads off so I could see in the chamber to see how they were, right? And then I put them right back on, tightened them up, did the valves, and
so it's good to go. So you tuned up the motor.
Oh fuck!
I mean, so you tuned it up. Right.
Hey,
and you.
Sorry. Where's your Marini?
Well, I don't have one to rebuild or
you didn't build it. Yeah.
So you tuned it up and detailed it.
Yeah. God damn it. No. Yeah. I had to refabricate a half of the tank. I had to rebuild the wheels.
Okay.
I had to.
So now,
what else I did? I had to rewire the entire thing.
Andy, just pause for a moment. You rebuilt the wheels. There's 2 parts. There's 3 parts in a wheel.
Yeah, but there's such a bitch to do. And I got those wheels.
So did you lace new spokes on it? Is that what you did?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no. I used the old spokes. But I took them all off and I soaked them in rust off, whatever.
Yeah.
And then.
Andy, just so you know, I mean, when I used to go to work at places, I took a lot of credit for shit I didn't do.
Oh,
and I always made it sound like I did a lot more than I actually did. Listen, I did that for a lot of my career, so I'm not really faulting you on that. I'm just saying, between me and you,
I reassembled it.
I sometimes like to know exactly what happened, if you don't mind.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, now you got me all self-conscious. It was a bitch.
I'm sure. Listen, those
the mechanical piece of it was fine, but trying to find a belt for it that wasn't in the UK for $60. You know what I mean? Like the tank, whatever. I'm not gonna qualify.
Tell our just out of curiosity though. Tell our listening friends what belt you replaced.
Drives the valves, so it's a timing belt.
Okay, yeah. See, some people out there don't have motor Marini 3.5s.
Oh, do they not?
And they're not aware of how the valves are actuated.
We don't care about them. Those who don't have a Marini. We can talk about something else if you want.
No. I'm fine.
We can talk about dirt bikes if you want.
Well, I told you last week I wanted to talk to you about when I think about, you going to heaven and leaving that Marini behind with me.
Hey, you're taken care of. As far as the Marini goes, you're good.
Okay, because I really do love that Marini, Andy.
I love it too. I mean, whatever. I don't want to talk about but I rode it around the block, and I'm trying to stay safe or at least stay practical in this pandemic. Right. Yes.
Does it start in idle? Tell me what it's like to have it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's ready to go. It runs. It's like you kick it over once or twice, and it's good to go. I love the carbs on this. I think they're Lordos, but they have the choke is a little lever. And they were plastic out of the factory, little plastic levers. And there's a guy who mills aluminum levers for them. And they're so cute. They're cute. And they're never, but the plastic ones break. Or if they're not plastic, there's some composite bullshit, and they snap off. They're still functional, but these ones are aluminum and they're just solid.
Nice.
And they're awesome. Normally you have to leave one carb choked and let it run until it warms up. So it's it's a gratifying process to ride the Marini, because everything about it is peculiar to the bike. So the switch is under the tank. I have to mount it somewhere, and then you the fuel taps are the twist kind. So I got these ones out of Italy. They're not the petcocks. They're a twist.
Okay, yeah.
And so you have to twist them and open it, and then fuel fills, and then you put you do these choke flips, and you kick it over a couple times and revs up. But then you have to let it warm up, because the way that the valves are lubricated is oil's shot up and misted to the roof of the valve cover,
and then drips on them,
and then it drips on these little crow's feet. So it has to get enough to drip, and it's small, or it's not small. It's a medium-sized bike, 350, but like it's just manageable enough, and it's just a very gratifying.
And what's how do you characterize them? You have other V twins. You got Ducati V twins.
Yes.
What's is it like buttery smooth? Is it
it's very
torquey
smooth.
And monkey?
It's very smooth, okay. And it's not like I don't know the adjectives to describe it, but other than smooth and it's not overly powerful. It just doesn't feel like there's any flat spots.
Yeah.
So
when those torque curves just get completely flat, so same torque everywhere.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really hit anywhere, but it pulls off the bottom, and if you're going speed and you crack it open, it pulls about the same.
It's not like you're trying to hang on to it for dear life. It's not, it's not a rocket ship, but then it's also not super sluggish.
So when you say it's ready to go, what sort of readiness would you ride it out to Bonneville with this new wheel?
To Bonneville?
Yeah. So
no.
What would you do with it right now?
I'd commute every day on it.
Every day.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And when I say ready, I mean I'm not. It's to a place aesthetically, mechanically, and functionally that works. And by work, it means just I don't have to worry about it. Right? I don't have to bring tools with me every time I leave the house.
Every time. Okay.
Like my little keychain thing will work if I need to.
Yeah. So in my mind, it's ready to go to Argentina.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
I mean, probably is about the best you can answer for any Italian motorcycle.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and I've got
All right. Well, that covers everything I want to talk about. Well, tacos, possibly killing you,
sure,
and mopeds. What else do you want to talk about? All right. What's your first search on Craigslist?
Oh my God, let's do a whole thing on Craigslist.
Okay.
Because I have.
Want to do that later? Let's do that next week.
I have a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Did you build it yourself?
So there you go. Thanks for listening, and do stay tuned to hear more unfold. You can find us on the socials at Hole in the Head Moto. Do drop us a line. Or better yet, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes or wherever you get yours. Because love it or hate it, I do appreciate the feedback. We'll see ya.